Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel and welcome to the first episode of the NHL 23 48 custom league that I'm doing in the new NHL 23 game. I created 16 teams in order to fill out the other 16 slot. And in this episode, I'm going to be setting up the everything I need for the league and making sure my team is ready to go. And the reason that I'm doing this is because I usually do it offline, but I don't see anybody else really doing it the way that I'm about to do it in this series. So what's going to happen is I'm going to set my team up, I'm going to have everything ready to go, but I'm not going to play through any of the games. I'm only going to watch. So I'm going to basically be doing, just like the title says, a GM challenge, a true GM challenge, and see how the players play, how they develop. The game is been pretty easy for me. It's very easy to beat the computer on the hardest level, even with the sliders up. The only way, I would really have a hard time with it is if I handicap myself with the sliders. But for the most part, I always found it pretty easy to beat the AI and win Stanley Cups, and that eventually got really boring. So I wanted to really challenge myself. So for the past couple games for the offline franchise, I've always been watching them play and trying to win a Stanley Cup that way, instead of playing through getting the easy Stanley Cup win. And we're going to do it again with the new custom league that they made. So that being said, we can see we have the 16 teams on the screen right now. I tried to make the best ones I could. You can see all the names of each one, the city names for each one. I tried to come up with the best one that just kind of rolled off the tongue. And then as you can see, the one that is circled is the team that I'm going to be using within the franchise mode. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump right into it, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. If you guys have any questions or comments or anything, just let me know down below. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. Okay, so here we have the 48 team settings for anyone that is interested to see what I put. We got the 48 teams, 2 conferences. I put up to 6 divisions, so that way I can put my 16 teams into 2 of the new divisions. Salary cap is on, inflation, all that stuff just remains the same. Over to the schedule. This was hard to make because it's not going to be as fair as the, of course, regular NHL schedule. But I think this is the best combination. I wanted at least 4 division games with each of the people in my division. So I put it up to 28 because there's 7 other teams in my division. Number of conference games to 26. So within the conference, there's going to be 2 conferences. There's 24 teams in each one. That means 23 games, or not 23, 16 games, 16 teams need to be played against the conference, within the conference. So with this 26, out of the 16 teams, I'll be playing 10 of the teams twice. It's the best thing that I can do. I can't move the number of games past 84. 84 is the max, and honestly, I don't know if I would want to go much higher than that. And then the interconference games, just like with the conference games, there's 24 on the other conference that obviously I will want to play throughout the season. I put it to 28, so only 4 of those 24 teams I will be playing twice. It's the best balance I could think of. I really want to focus on the division games. I originally had it to where I played each team twice, but I really wanted the division games to, mean more. The division games should mean a lot more because it's within your division. It's going to decide whether or not you get to the playoffs and stuff like that. And I really wanted to emphasize that division game setting. So moving on to the standings format, didn't change any of this. All of this is the same. Then to the playoffs qualification type. So the only thing I changed here is the wild card round. I turned it on because it just makes a little bit more sense. It gives more teams a chance to kind of get into the playoffs. There's only 18 or 34, which I totally understand because the bracket can only go to 16 or 32. But with the 18, that means that basically the first 14 teams are guaranteed a spot, and then the next 4 have to fight for those last 2 spots, which I think is really cool. Everything else I left the same. I think this is a good right here. 1 home, 1 away, 1 home. I just need a 3-game series. I don't need anything more than that. And then whoever wins out of those little 4, right? Because it'll be 4 teams going just one little series. Whoever wins gets the 15th and the 16th spot, and then they go into the traditional playoff rounds and stuff like that. Everything else here I left the same. I didn't change any of the AHL stuff. And yeah, so over to the team stuff. The name doesn't really matter. There it is. I put JBaz. That's always what I put for my GM. And wow, they took out all of my teams. Okay, cool. So I have to go through and replace all of these teams with the teams that I made, that I showed you guys in the beginning. I thought they would save it. I guess they did not. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real quickly. Alright, so I got all the teams that I needed. All my custom teams are in the game now. As you can see, my HL team is whatever the AHL team for that overseas team was. I can't change that. There's nothing I can do about that. We're going to go ahead and click through. And this is where we need to set up everything correctly. So they're going to like shuffle all the teams for some reason. As you can see here, some of the teams like the Kings and Boston Bruins, and they're all in the same like region when they're not supposed to be. So I got to go ahead and reshuffle all these correctly. I'm going to put every division with the way they need to be, and whichever division is left, it'll just go into this one with my two made up divisions. But I'm gonna go ahead and just rearrange everything. Alright, so I renamed everything, got everything where it needed to be, got the right divisions for every team. I just named it the Diamond and Platinum conferences. Didn't really know what to call them. There's no Eastern or Western because my teams are all over the place. There's no like specific location for them. I kind of just whatever like city sounded kind of cool and whatever rolled off the tongue, I kind of made that. So I made their divisions Expansive 1 and Expansive 2. I'm pretty sure that expansive is a word. But we got everything pretty much set up here. I have the Pacific Division in my team's division. As you can see, the overall differential between the created teams and the NHL teams are completely different except for one team, because this was the first team that I created and put some of the free agents in there. So I want to make sure that when I go in there, they don't duplicate anybody, because this game has that problem for some reason. So a lot of the other teams, especially the one that I'm playing, they're all overseas teams, so they're all hopefully non-duplicates within the game. And yeah, so that's pretty much it for that. I guess we can go ahead and move on to the next one. This team right here is the team that represents my channel, but from my offline modes when I play franchise, this is the team I kind of go with, and I'm going to continue to go with. But anyway, let's go ahead and move on to the next step. Everything is pretty much set up the way it is. Let me just go in and make sure that everything's the way it is. No fantasy draft. I want the NHL teams to have their players, and if they get rid of them, that's on them. Player morale. This allows you to manage your players' morale and team chemistry. Yes. Fog of Wars. Yes. No. Don't edit my lines. Firing is fine. CPU trades is fine. No. No. Auto staff management. This might be good because doing the staff management. The only thing I would want to have control of is the head coach. But you know what? I'm gonna turn this on because this gets annoying after a while. Will authorize your initial attempt to relocate the franchise. I can turn it on, but I'm not going to relocate anything. Owner mode is on. Yep. Everything looks good here for the basic stuff. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Alright, so rules and setting. I like to make sure that it is difficult. So the reason that I do this, and the reason I think that, again, this is not a setting or a thing that people really do, is because they like to play the game. Which I love playing the game too, but like I mentioned in the intro, in the beginning, the game is just too easy for me, and I need a bit of a challenge. So this is the only way I really get my challenge, and that's what I'm going to do. So I want to make sure I put everything on the hardest level. Difficulty on hard. Waivers, yeah, that's fine. We'll turn all that off. That's cool. Everything's good here. Auto scouting, that's fine. Auto staff management on. I wonder if I can turn that off. It's in the settings, so I'm pretty sure if I go back into I'm pretty sure I can turn that off. I just want to see what they do, because I don't like doing this staff at the end of the season. But everything there is good. This is where I try to make it difficult for me, because it just, without like obviously making me extremely handicapped, but like in the back here, this AI, if I turn this all the way up, it makes it way more difficult to play the computer. Still easy to beat though. These two don't really matter because I'm not playing, right? Based on game contact. I'm going to turn this up because it might affect the way they play with each other, or against each other. User strategy adjustment. I'm not going to be playing the game, so it's not going to matter. The only thing I used to change was the checking, but the checking seemed to be okay last year, so I'm assuming it's going to be okay this year. Most of it seems to be fine. Incidental contact is fine. Checking balance. Yeah, that's usually what I change. I don't change anything else. Yeah, everything else seems to be relatively fine. I don't need to change anything else. Alright, cool. So that's going to be the settings. Accessibility is just the way it looks and stuff like that. It should be fine. But yeah, 6 minute, because I'm going to be watching the games, and of course you're going to be seeing that within this first episode, or maybe in the next one, depending on how long this one is. But I'm going to be watching the games, just going to be doing like highlights of each game and everything like that. And yeah, I think everything's good. Let's go ahead and get into it, and let's see what we got. Keep the salary cap on. Alrighty, we are in the menu, which looks exactly the same from last year, but hey, what are you gonna do? Alright, so the first game is gonna be against Milwaukee, which is fine. I always send the preseason. Let me just make sure everything's fine here. So, I guess before I go into the free agents, I should show you guys my team. So with every iteration of the NHL games, I always make players from my teams. Like I usually make my players, or like myself, my brothers, stuff like that. So I have those players on my team already. You can see the ones with the the little thing. No, I'm good. The ones with the abilities are the characters that I made. So all the other ones are from overseas. I have no idea who they are. And then I have 3 more players that I created over here, and then I think I created 1 goalie. Yeah. Alright, cool. So this is my team for the year. Obviously, I need to find some help really quickly. The computer will definitely find help for themselves as well. I'm sure the computer's going to adjust and stuff like that. I wonder what my owner goals are going to be. It's going to be very interesting to see that. But so I'm just going to go ahead and just get a bunch of free agents. I'm going to sim a couple. We're going to go through it. And then right before the first game of the season, I'll show you guys the progress I made and the teams I have. And then we will go from there. All right. Okay, so let's look at the owner goals, see what we got here. I just got a couple, or I sent out the contracts for the free agent. I expect you to boost fan happiness to at least 90. I've never seen that one before. That was interesting. I want us to boost team chemistry by 5. That might happen. And team store could be pretty easy as well. Seller, my expectations are low in regard to team performance, but we still need to keep the fans coming back. Okay. So this is important. I need to keep the owner happy because I put GM firing on, and I don't really want to get fired. It has happened to me before. I have played through a franchise and gotten fired because I haven't, lived up to their expectations. But let's go ahead and put this all the way up, save the budget, and then auto set promotion night. That's fine. Let's see who signs with us. What? Oh, what do you mean we're full? All right, JB goes in. Full of what? Who do we have on our team? Because I only put like 20 people on this team. Okay, Abdicator. You signed with the Piggies, bro? Okay. See, I told you they're gonna. Okay, Stone's on our team. Cody Eakin, Devontae Smith, Pele. No room for me. Who was on my team? Justin Bailey, Barabo, Bergman. What? My team is full? What are you talking about? I guess they must have filled it in when I started the game. Alright, team's looking a little better. 57s, dear God. Why would you give them the 3 mil? Anyway, defense, we got Novak Stone, the 2 brothers, and then the goalie should be fine. Alright, well, this is our team for the first game. I'm going to try to make some room so I can get some more free agents. But yeah, this is the start of the 48. That's not spot. The 48 custom league that they've done in NHL 23. I don't really see anybody making videos on this the custom league, and I don't see anybody really doing it this way. I don't think I've seen one video where somebody's just letting, like, besides the sim, I think that Tactic does. But watching the game, trying to develop it and stuff like that, being more invested into it, I don't really see anybody doing that. So hopefully this series does well. Let me know what you guys think about it down below. I'll see you guys in the next episode for the first 9 or 10 games, and it's gonna be interesting. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed it, definitely appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Thanks for watching, everyone.